Everyday life, from the significant to the petty. Time now for Christy Gustafson Barletti on 107.7 GNA.
The Golden Goose, the KGB, the content queen, Gusta Rhymes, Christy Gustafson Barletti. Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning, Jess. Good morning, Brian. I'm great. How are you?
We are good. We are good. We're talking about greed. Greed.
Nothing says Christmas like a greedy little seller. We are talking about what happened was earlier in the week. One of my readers and one of your listeners posted to Facebook about how she's upset about the fact that people are buying up what would be the hot toys, like fingerlings or those LOL surprise toys, and then reselling them on Facebook for as much as 10 times what they purchased them for. So reselling them in Facebook garage sales and things like that. And what we've asked people is this okay? Or, I mean, it's legal, so let's just say that. Right now it's legal, although Chuck Schumer's trying to kind of change that a little bit. But is it okay, or are you just a really morally crappy person because you're trying to, I guess, cash in on a child's desire at Christmas?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it can be considered greed. Like, here's the thing. If a price point for your kid for Christmas is too much that you can't afford it, like, don't blame the person who's selling it. Just don't buy it. If nobody bought it, their prices would come down.
Right.
It's all about supply and demand. I mean, most everybody jacks up their prices around the holiday season anyways. Right? Wouldn't you agree with that, Christy?
Well, yeah. I mean, even sometimes some restaurants do that. You know, when you're going out for a holiday, a meal can be more expensive. But I think the idea is you and I, both our kids are a little young for this, so they're not at the point where there's like that have-to-have hot toy. But when kids are more, say, 6, 7, 8, they have this toy in their mind that they just feel like the magic of Christmas will be perfect if they get that one item.
And so
I always was with the camp of, yes, economics says supply and demand. You can get what you can get, and then that means that that's the value.
Yeah, I don't have too much of a problem with it. Go ahead.
She's a single mom, and she was just saying, I can only afford so much, so that if my daughter really, really wants this one item, then that becomes the only item that I get for her. And then she said, I kind of feel like I take away the magic of Christmas. Not that the girl needs to have 100 gifts, but she said if it's this one thing, it literally becomes that one item.
How much of a price markup are we talking here? Like, let's use the fingerling potatoes as an example, or whatever they're called. They're little monkeys. Let's use the fingerlings.
I think a fingerling costs, between like $12 and $20 normally.
Something like that.
They said some people they're selling them for anywhere from $60 to $250.
Wow. I mean, as a parent, sometimes you just have to make a stand, right? And if Santa's not going to bring it, because Santa was unable to bring it, and mom and dad can't afford it. Sorry, Brian. Sorry, Jess. Sorry, Christy. You're just not going to get it this year. Overspending in your budget and going broke over the holidays is absurd too. It is just as crazy as the markup.
It is, and I think you're right. If people aren't going to go on and do that, and some people said, that they're not entirely opposed to this. They just feel that, say, eBay is a better platform because then people are bidding and that dictates the price as opposed to people posting on Facebook, to say, hey, I have this, buy it. Or they're going to the store, somebody who's maybe not a parent or doesn't have kids who even want this, and they're scooping them all up. Not just buying one and reselling it, but buying, say, 10 or 20 or everyone that's on the shelf so that if you or me or Jess goes into the store and actually just wants to buy one for someone in our family, we can't because the people who, similar to scalping tickets, the people who go on and buy a ton of great seats and then resell them for a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm like, to me, that's I'm kind of used to that world because as a sports fan,
yeah, with tickets,
with tickets or music or anything like that, people tend to pay a little bit more when there's high demand.
But for like devil's advocate, though, kind of like what Christy said is, it's not someone who's going, oh, well, I have a little extra, I'll buy 2 and sell 1. It's I'll buy 30. And keep one and sell the rest of them. So if you just want to provide for your kid, you may not be able to get your kid a ton of presents. You want to get them that one thing they want to make them happy. And you already have your hands tied and there's nothing you can do about it unless you spend, double, sometimes triple for just one toy. And I mean, the toy is probably going to end up in a toy box or they'll probably forget about it in a couple weeks. But that magic, that instant Christmas morning feeling of that, they got that one toy they wanted isn't there. It's a kind of a little bit of a letdown.
Christy, one of your readers had an interesting comment. Must-haves, according to Mugwump, in the real world are things like food, clothing, shelter, and life-saving surgery. Must-haves in the toy and gadget world are adult inventions. You know, it says here, you know, mom and dad, your 1 through 5-year-old will not be emotionally scarred because you refuse to pay exorbitant prices for toys that'll eventually wind up in the garage sale. But
let me just say, I'm a child of the 80s, and I still remember getting the Cabbage Patch Kid because I grew up in the Cabbage Patch Kid era. I remember how excited I was. I don't save anything, and I still have that Cabbage Patch Kid. So I do know and see that joy sometimes really lasts if it's something you so badly want. And Christmas really is about kids, and there is so much magic there when they get that thing that they so badly want. And I think that makes everyone happy. It makes the kids happy. It makes the parents happy. It's just,
I don't know.
That's hard to put a price on.
I don't think I ever woke up Christmas morning and ever got everything I wanted.
Oh, I agree. Of course not.
You know, and then felt like dissatisfied, you know, because of it. And you know, Cabbage Patch Kids, I think when we were growing up, Christy, what were they, like $30 or $35? You know, like how much would, like, if your parents, well, you kind of feel like you were sort of like me, like a spoiled brat. How much, how much do you think your parents would have gone up to, you know, back in the 80s for a $35 Cabbage Patch doll?
Well, my parents, where do you think I get my frugality from? My parents are as frugal as I am, so probably $36. But
that's great.
That's a little too high still. A little too high.
Well, listen, anything can be...
$35.01.
Anything can be bought for the right price. Christy, thank you. We'll talk to you next Thursday, okay?
All right, bye, guys.
All right, thank you.